Asset protection planning is needed. Again, one of our jobs as estate planners is we want to preserve our clients' wealth. We want to protect their business. We want to protect their personal assets against lawsuits, future lawsuits and creditors. And if any of your clients have ever been in a lawsuit, as attorneys will know, it's very frustrating. It takes a long time, and basically it creates a huge cloud over their head for years and years and years. So again, this is all for protecting our clients' assets, but also so they can have peace of mind as well, to make sure that their assets are protected, again, in advance before the claim comes. And if you're dealing with high net worth clients, again, they have a target on their back, and asset protection planning is something that is of great interest to your high net worth clients, because we want to shield and protect their wealth that they've worked so hard to accumulate. Different types of claims that your clients can be subject to. Again, officer and director liabilities if they control a large business corporation. Employee lawsuits, employees can sue them, or they can be sued as a supervisor for, not for their employees' conduct or misconduct. Divorces, we have a 50% divorce rate, and guess what? A divorce is a lawsuit. It's a type of claim. So if you have a high net worth client that's in their second or third marriage, we want to make sure that their assets are protected against future divorces. Also, when leaving an inheritance to their children or grandchildren, we want to make sure that we protect the inheritance against their children or grandchildren's potential future divorces. We don't want their inheritance to be tied up in a divorce. Tax liabilities, creditor lawsuits, partnership liabilities, malpractice claims like we mentioned earlier. An additional consideration for your international clients is the foreign government seizing your clients' assets without due process. Again, there's a lot of countries out there. Again, I have a lot of clients from Mexico and Latin America, and they tell me the horror stories of the Mexican IRS, which is known as the SAT, the SAT, unilaterally freezing bank accounts and seizing their corporate assets, and then they have to fight them in court to get it back for years and years and years. So if you have an international client, you have to be very wary of, are they going to use a business entity or a trust from their foreign country, from their home country, to own anything in the U.S.? You need to be very careful with that, because if they get into problems in their home country, we don't want them, and their let's say their Mexican corporation owns their real estate here in Texas. Well, again, that could be very risky if that Mexican corporation gets into legal problems. So again, another consideration for your international clients. Creditor rights, again, they have the right to set aside fraudulent transfers if they can prove it up in court. There's some community property issues there and separate property issues, but I know Antoinette mentioned that our next presentation will be in August. We'll be on community property, so I'll skip that so we can. However, one huge caveat here: international clients. Were they married versus a separate property or community property in their home country? So, for example, Mexico, I'm going to use as an example. If you want to get married by separate property or community property in Mexico, it's basically a check the box thing on the marriage certificate. So you have to be careful if they selected to be married by separate property in their home country. Is that their intention if they live in Texas to continue to be a separate property? If so, you might want to draft a marital agreement, which is available in Wealth Docs, to make sure that we respect their separate property marital regime, if that's what their intention is. And again, that's an asset protection strategy, because we want to protect the innocent spouse from the liabilities of their business owner or high risk spouse that they have.